I won't get away with it.
Welcome and welcome back to How to Make a TV Show Without a Studio. My name is Imelda, writer, director, producer, and professional sad girl both in emotion and social anxiety. This is Michael Hona, writer, director, producer.
And Salon Bobo.
We are two filmmakers passionate about stories and trying to figure out how to make them and how to get people to see them.
Yeah.
What's the title of today's episode?
Mother's told me this 4 times. It's really gone out of my
And
head.
he doesn't know
So we're gonna do it together. The title of this episode is
How to find your voice as a writer.
How to find your voice as a writer.
For a writer, he can listen.
How to find your voice as a writer is the name of this episode. Yeah, I'm really excited to do this one.
Well,
and this is episode 3.
Yeah.
Trois.
Yeah.
Trois. Yeah, got you. Episode 3.
They don't speak French in Sierra Leone.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't. For all those people asking, we don't. We speak French.
Right. But they do speak French in Congo, so.
Yeah. Not in Sierra Leone.
Unscrew your faces.
Maybe when you ask our children, they'll be like, yeah. My
Yeah,
mum
what?
speaks
Yeah. Yeah, what?
Yeah, because there'll be a mix of both of us, isn't it?
Okay, anywho, check out our last episodes. We're super excited to be on this journey with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, check out our last episodes.
Yeah, man.
They are on the HowToMakeATVShowWithoutAStudio YouTube channel.
Yes.
So
And all the socials and all that stuff.
yeah, all the socials, Instagram,
All that stuff.
you
Pick
know,
one. It'll
TikTok.
be
I don't
somewhere
know.
on the screen. Here.
So do you want to give us our disclaimers, Michael, please?
Yeah. Just so everyone knows that the disclaimer is that basically this is coming from mine. Everything that we're talking about is coming from mine and Imelda's personal experiences as filmmakers. So although that we will be giving advice and giving our perspective on how we believe the film industry is or what we believe that you can do, we don't want you to take this as like Bible. We want you to take this as like this is the only way to do things, or that we are the ones that have everything together. We're just figuring it out like everyone else. So please use us as a bookmark in your essay. Don't take the essay and what's the word when
I don't know. He hasn't been in uni for a while.
what's that thing that you do with your essays when you don't write it yourself?
Plagiarize?
Yeah, don't plagiarize the work, and you don't plagiarize the work. Yeah. Not a great, terrible analogy, but yeah, no. This is for everyone to understand, but this is just coming from our perspective.
Hey guys, we just wanted to interrupt this wonderful podcast to say thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe to the HowToMakeATVShowWithoutAStudio YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It does us some amazing wonders if you are just locked in. Put the notification bell on so you can know when there are new episodes. Episodes are out every Monday, every
Thursday.
So please put the notification bells on, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Share with friends, share with your friends.
Amen, brother. So today, how do we find our voice as a writer?
Very good question.
Why did we lose our voice in the first place? Because if you are just tuning in, Michael and I have sort of struggled a little bit in the film and TV industry for the past couple of months, maybe about a year or so.
Yeah.
And we have been we lost our voice. And I think we just sort of want to talk about the journey of us finding it again.
Yeah.
And Unwritten and how
we kind of got to that. Yeah. Because it was a tumultuous time, wasn't it? And I think, like we were talking about in the last episode, like the industry collapsed. We lost lots of jobs, and we were kind of pinned up to write a lot of stuff. And I think that when you go a long time without working and you go a long time with just getting told no's, it can really hit at your self-esteem as a writer. And I think that I think one of the reasons why we lost our voice is, I think, if I'm being really transparent, I think we started to conform a bit too much. Like, we came into the industry with no understanding of how any of this worked.
Yeah, we didn't go to sort of like drama school. We didn't do any script writing at uni. We didn't
win a competition.
We didn't win a competition. We didn't do any script writing courses. We just sort of said we're really passionate about telling stories. We want to see things that we love on screen.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, let's take a stab at writing a script.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Let's take a stab at telling great stories. And
Exactly.
I think a lot of our kind of sensibilities come from that.
Yeah.
Where it's
100%.
us being excited about stories.
Yeah, and I think that we exactly like you're saying, we came in with this excitement and with this understanding that there was a drought within, like, particularly in Black British film, because by the time that me and Imelda came in, which was probably like 2018, there wasn't Domino Day or Borders or Supercell or Dreaming Whilst Black.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that.
There wasn't Rye Lane. There wasn't Boxing Day. There wasn't even Blue Story.
Yeah.
There was barely Top Boy. Like, and this is like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Which isn't that far away. It's like 7 years ago. So yeah, I think that we were talking a lot about that. There was a drought, and we were really interested in trying to bring in the stuff that we've been interested in and been molded by writing, which is like, you know.
So I think, you know, like we were coming into the industry with a particular idea, but as we went on in the industry, we kind of started to conform to what the industry wanted us to make.
Well, yeah.
I think from the like feedback that we would get, we were like, oh, they don't like this thing. Oh, we have American sensibilities apparently. Yeah. Let's not write that. Let's breaking do the kitchen sink drama.
Yeah, breaking that down a little bit, I think that we came in with this idea of like big and bold and colourful like ideas. And these weren't always like genre stories. They weren't always like, they weren't necessarily big in budget, but they were big in ideas. Like we would have.
Maybe big in budget.
Maybe big in budget, but like some of
mine.
But
we weren't thinking about writing. We weren't thinking about budget.
Yeah, no, the imagination.
We let the imagination.
The imagination just went to where it went.
Yeah.
And I think that we had so much imagination and so much passion and zeal. And I think that as soon as you start to, when you kind of get into the film industry, particularly the British one, because that's the only experience that we can really talk about.
Yeah.
For our experience, it felt like we started to get told to write for particular avenues. So one avenue is to like make a BFI short.
Yeah.
Another avenue is to work for either Channel 4 or BBC and make a short with them.
Yeah.
That would hopefully then get like fast tracked to be a TV show.
Yeah.
Another one of those would be like, you know, work with a production company and try and get a commission. All of those came with a certain type of sensibility and a certain type of writing that we weren't, at the beginning we were happy to like try and conform to.
Yeah, because we were just excited to be in the game.
Yeah, man.
We were like, oh my God, meetings with production companies?
For real.
Let's go. And I think that, you know, being excited is great, and that's a really positive thing to have.
100%.
And I think that's something that you need to keep, which is excitement, to just be
in a room and be ready to learn and be around people and we were ready to soak up everything that we had.
But I think that like, as well as being excited, we kind of were gonna do anything to get a show off, or do anything to get in the room and to write and to be next to the people that would allow us to platform our work.
100%.
And I think that ended up making us sort of like try to like write the perfect short for the BFI, or like try to write the perfect BBC drama.
Because we're very lucky in the sense that we got quite a few opportunities to do like a BBC short, and we were put in a position to write some of those, or we've been in positions where people have been like, oh, maybe you should make a blap, or you should do that. We've got a lot of production companies that are looking at us to do those kind of things. But we came into the industry with 2 shorts made. We made 2 shorts, Remembering and Teeth, which were 2 supernatural coming of age dramas, which were about girls with superpowers, and the superpowers were a metaphor for mental health issues. Like, that was something that we just came out of the bat with. We produced 2 shorts in the last 2 years, for our really good friend Justin Smith, who's Omba, and they were great films, and they got into festivals, and we did that, and we worked with high amazing actors, and one of them was sponsored by Campari and Soho House. So we had done the stuff.
Yeah.
outside of I guess
the way to do the stuff.
The way to do the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of always how we've been. So I think
the
fringe, and I think we don't like waiting. I feel like
I know, and that's something that we shouldn't.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm trying to be I'm trying to be polite, but I also want to like tell the truth. And I feel like we don't like waiting, particularly when the waiting is just like
bureaucratic.
Yeah, and you're waiting in line with 100 other black people and Indian people and Asian people.
Well, no, I
and
think
minorities.
Well, the thing is, I think it's like when you're at the airport or like the Eurostar when it's like different lines. So you've got like the non-EU people in the passport control line.
Yeah.
Then you've got the people in the EU in the passport control line.
Yeah.
And you get to the line where you're supposed to be.
And you've got the fast trackers.
And you've got the fast track people.
Yeah.
That everyone's waiting.
Yeah.
But sometimes certain lines will go faster than others. And it's like, wait, hold on a minute.
That's a really good analogy, because hopefully this is a good way to say it so that it makes sense to everyone. But the fast trackers are moving.
Yeah.
And you're seeing
they're
the
still
fast
in a
trackers.
line.
They're still in a line, but they're moving and they're getting the commissions and the TV shows are going out. Mm-hmm. Then there are the EU people. And the person that is at the front of the line of the EU are like slowly getting through the gate.
Yeah.
And they're getting into the country and they're making their shows. Mm-hmm. And then the people in the non-EU line, the person at the front of the line has been moving, and maybe they like knocked
They've been
over
there for hours.
Maybe they knocked over a granny to get in front, or they spoke to someone and get into the actual into the EU line. They've done all that they can. They've been searched. They've been locked up. You know what I mean? They've like everything's happened to them, but then they've made it through the line. And I'm just saying that like I'm kind of saying like fuck the line. Because like,
well, I think it's
I do want to say that I'm saying fuck the line, because I believe that maybe there are other spaces, and I think that if you think that the film industry is only with the line, then that's the only way you can make film. And I just think that that's kind of like the lottery, which is why I'm saying fuck the line.
Well, yeah, I think I don't disagree with you, but I think that we didn't just come to the conclusion of fuck the line.
No.
Even though it might have like felt like that because it was quite like fast.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't fast because
slow.
We spent a year and a half going, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Why is this happening to us?
Yeah.
Are we talented? Like, what's going on? But I think it was more than just fuck the line. It was kind of like, hold on.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting in line?
Yeah.
And you you find all these different reasons, like, but they're fast tracking. I don't get that. And why are they fast tracking? But hold on, why are they in the non-EU line? And why are we here? And what's going on?
Yeah.
And I feel like, just to be able to realize that, hold on, who made these lines? Who's checking the passports?
And also,
like, and I think when you start asking those questions, then you go, wait, let me step outside the line and just see how this system works.
And also, I feel like this could account for a lot of people. But I think particularly if you're deemed as a minority writer, and take whatever minority you want and put that in the box, like, because I think a lot of people kind of are being forced to be put as minority writers. Do you know what I mean? If you have like, if you're black, then it's like, oh, that's something that we can sell.
But I also feel like I understand this. It just kind of
the diversity thing.
It triggers me a little bit, the minority thing, because I'm just like, how is the majority the minority? Like, I'm so confused.
It's the Daniel Kaluuya thing, isn't it?
It's like,
it's
minor, bro.
Yeah. Major. No, but legit.
It's just like, okay, being a woman is a minority.
Well, yeah.
Being gay is a minority.
But this is my point. I'm just using it to just base the
I know.
Just to base the optics.
I'm just saying that like it.
Yeah.
Sort of, it's triggering because it's
100%.
So the only people that are not the minority are white straight men.
Yeah. And possibly women.
Surely,
depending on who you ask.
Like women are minorities as well.
White
straight women are apparently minorities as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait.
Well, everyone's moving the diversity box into their camp so that they can get the funding. So, but I'm saying that those optics are really frustrating because they put those optics on you as you write, and or sometimes people put them on themselves so that they can get some kind of like quick money to then make stuff. And so say like I'm saying that there is a way to make films in that space.
Yeah.
And for us, it felt like we could have continued to do that, and it might have been a long, hard road of like 10 years.
Yeah.
But maybe something might have came out of it, or maybe we would have become one of the chosen ones.
Yeah.
But the prize at the end of it, I'm not interested in. Like the shows that shows that these production companies are making, I'm not interested in. Like the thing that, so I came into the industry going, I want to make films like Spielberg. I want to be like Disney.
You're like Disney, Spielberg, Edgar Wright.
Like I want to make musicals. Like I want to like
you're like John Chu's career. You're like
yeah. Like I would kill to do that. Like I always said to Imelda when we were young, like I want to direct Wicked, and then John M. Chu, and it's like and he did a great job. He did a phenomenal job. But like that's the height and the space in which our industry has given us. We're never going to hit those heights. Do you know what I mean? They barely want to make adolescents. Like they barely want to sell adolescents to the Emmys. It's only now that or I May Destroy You. They'll put it out because of the people that are attached to it. But then when it gets like all of the fame, now people are like, we need the next I May Destroy You. We need the next thing. But the industry in which we're working with is crap.
Because it's that idea of like, we need the next. It's like, well, the thing already happened.
Yeah.
The next for what?
Yeah, because like, for example, like I told you, like, you know, I got told by a producer or development executive that they were pitching to the BBC, and the BBC was saying how they wanted the next Michaela Cole and they want the next I May Destroy You, and like I know that it's even like in pitch things now.
But also it's so weird because it's like, you know, the I May Destroy You was such a specific story.
Such a personal story to then be like, I'm looking for the next one, rather than going, I'm looking for the next like talented writer, or I'm looking for the next authored story.
They say that in their little brief thing.
Yeah. But it's all bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
It all sounds really negative, but like evidently, our understanding of this industry is maybe a bit warped.
But all of these kind of like factors, played a really significant part in us maybe losing our voice, and we didn't know how to find it.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to do in order to get our voice back, because it was maybe I need to be Michaela Cole and write something like that, or hold on a minute, okay, I wanted to be Spielberg, but maybe I should do something like this.
And when people are telling you that, like particularly I had this a lot, you know, everyone around you, people that are in your team, people that you're pitching to, this idea is too big, this idea is too expensive, and they're leaning you towards like, you know, the urban police drama, and it's like, oh, maybe you should make that. And you didn't write the police drama because so I wrote a police drama because I was like, oh, maybe this will work for the optics. And I was like, oh, I'll put this police drama out. And I was I'm not going to make it. So I can explain what it is. It's basically like it's like a version, it's like the Departed, but in The Departed meets The Dark Knight in a city, London.
I think you should still make it at some point. I think it needs to be worked on and developed into a Michael.
Into something.
But I do think that you should make it at some point.
I
just don't necessarily think that you should make it in the way that you're being told.
Yeah,
you should make it.
Because so that's a good thing. That's a good thing to say. You bring out an idea. So you go. I watched The Departed and I went, this is a really cool film. I love this. Martin Scorsese. This is great. The kind of mix between like, they're both rats, but for different people. One for the mafia and one for the police station. Everyone watched The Departed. Please watch it. It's great. And like the politics of The Dark Knight. Oh, great movie. Oh, Seven. Oh, I love Seven. Maybe we should do something like that. Thriller vibes. All that kind of stuff. It feels really genre based and really kind of like horrific and lovely. This is a great style. I would love to do something like that in Black Britain. Maybe I could do something like that with 2 black leads. Maybe that could be great. Maybe that could be cool. Then you're writing that as a creative, and then the optics get put in, and the optics are like, how will you do a British police system in your story? And then that means that you have to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, if the leads are both black, then to make that realistic to Britain, then you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And then the creativity of what you had has now been formed by the optics of the system. And then you're making something. Then I found myself going, I'm making something that I really don't want to make. So then I canned it. And I have ADHD. So if I don't feel passionate about something, then I'll just stop. So I then felt like that happened with a lot of projects. So then we got to a point, I think that happened to us a lot. You bring an idea, people put optics on it, and then you kind of lose love for it. And then you get to this point where you're like, there's a strike, you're losing jobs, and then you're like,
also you kind of do the maths, don't you?
Yeah.
is this even going to get made?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
is there a
yeah.
point? Like,
is there even a point of writing this?
What the hell? Like,
because now the
point?
creative, that's so good. Even the creative ideas that you have,
they're dying at the pass.
Well, now you're not even watering them because you're going, there's no point because this industry's not going to take it.
And you used to do that a lot, which is so freaking sad because it was sort of like, I've got this idea. They're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's
probably with 70% of my ideas, I would do that.
They're dying at the
for
pass.
like the last 3-4 years. Just be like, nah.
It's such a shame.
There's no point.
They're just like completely dying. And I think, again, like, one of the main reasons as to why we maybe like kept at it or kept going down the rabbit hole of losing our voice was we needed money.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we needed money.
And also
we made that decision. Like, again, like in 2018, I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
I was a corporate girl.
Yeah.
And at the end of 2018, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to quit this because I'm going to jump.
Yeah. Quit a job in fashion.
I'm going to go head first into this film career.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to figure it out. You know, I did the wild thing.
Yeah.
And I think like I needed money. I needed to survive in this big bad economy.
100%.
And it's really hard to do that without feeling like there was a long period of time where we felt like getting part-time jobs was a sellout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going, no, we can do it.
Yeah.
And you can't.
No, you can't.
I mean, you might.
Yeah.
You might.
Yeah.
You might be a few of the lucky ones that might be able to do it, but for the majority of people, you can't.
It's really hard to split your time because we quit our jobs to create a production company and then to build a slate and then to make projects. It's really hard to split something that needs all of your time with then a job that needs like maybe half of your time.
Yeah.
Because now you're giving half of your time to the thing that you want to make your money from. Mm-hmm. And I think the money thing is a really, really important point because also like we've been paid the best money for writing that we'd ever been paid in our lives when we did Halfway. Because again, like Halfway was, and also I think it's important to always stress the fact that like to even be able to get a commission like Halfway and to be able to write the stuff that we did and to be able to be commissioned by Audible and Idris Elba and Sabrina Elba, like, and to be able to have like Lenny Henry and Patricia Allison and George Mackay and Rinze Kene and like all of those people in that project, like it feels like, oh, you're saying a lot of people when you're mentioning them, but it's important to do that because it's like we actually were given a really big opportunity to make something completely how we wanted to, and we got paid for it. So we got this lovely taste of, oh, so you can write something your way, you can put it out, and people can really appreciate it, and then you can feel like a full writer. But then when you're doing that, and then that stops, and those opportunities close, you're like, but I was just doing that. So, and I feel like it's important to say that because I'm sure there's people that are watching that haven't even got the commission yet and are still looking for the first.
It's a tumultuous process. It's really tumultuous and stressful being a freelancer and trying to commit yourself to making money by doing the thing that is creative.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard, and knowing that, you know, you don't get paid regularly and you get paid haphazardly and you have to manage things in different ways. Like I went through a phase of being really like financially kind of like stringent.
Yeah.
And trying to do budgets and, you know, I love the Financial Diet, listening to what they have to say and going, oh, I'm going to do this and do that. But a lot of the stuff doesn't actually apply to like freelancers because you don't know when your next paycheck's coming in unless you have like 5 jobs lined up. At the end of those 5 jobs, then more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's really, really hard to apply certain ways this world is set up to this creative freelance life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
100%.
It's really, really tricky. And I think we were like chasing ourselves, trying to make money and figuring out like, what can we do? And that's essentially why we were conforming, because it was like, I have to do this crime drama because I need to get paid.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think that you lose your voice even more when you're then chasing it for the cash, but then you don't get a job, and then you don't get the cash.
Well, it's also like, if you do chase it for the cash and you do get the job.
Yeah.
And then
and then you're stuck making shit that you hate.
That's an incentive.
But you're like,
to never do what
because
you really
you're like,
wanted to do.
I hate this crap, but I'm still doing it because it pays. Like, and there's a lot of people that do that. And that's a lot of like, you even hear about actors talking about like, yeah, man, I did that job. You know, for the money. And it's like, there's a lot of people that, because we need the money to work.
But I also feel like there's something about like demonizing that. I don't necessarily feel like we should demonize
No way.
that.
Don't demonize people getting a bag.
Yeah. And I think it's like, again, like we used to like demonize like part-time jobs and stuff like that. And it's like, well, don't demonize that because that's doing what you have to do to survive in this world. Like it's not, it's not a joke.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was like, again, it was like, the idea was about like when your voice gets squashed, all you're thinking about is then just making it, and your voice doesn't seem as important as making it because making it is almost defining your voice. And I think that like it's like, oh, as long as I make it, it'll be fine. As long as I do it, but actually it's like no, like you need to know what you want to make.
Yes.
Like what you want to create. Like what is it that makes you you?
Yeah.
And then you can go and create. But it's so hard to do that when you need to pay the bills. And I think go on, what were you gonna say?
Well, would you say that we have sort of found our voice?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think we found our voice individually? Because Michael and I write together, and we write separately. Would you say that we have found our voice together and we found our voice separately?
I would definitely say that we found our voice together and separately.
Okay.
And the reason why I'd say that is because we had to kind of die to the idea of what it was to make films. And I think the idea was we're going to get a commission and then we're going to go from that commission to another commission. And then at some point we'll get enough support and love from like the, I don't know, movie that we do with Michaela Cole and John Boyega, the lovely rom-com that makes 250 million at the box office that everyone loves. And then we're on we're on the Kelly Clarkson show.
We're on Ellen.
Yeah. I was like going to say Ellen, but Ellen's not
That's
not
how
around.
long ago we thought this.
Yeah. You know, we'll be on the Kelly Clarkson show, we'll be on Jenny Fallon, and then we'll be at the Oscars. That was the idea.
Yeah.
So I think once we were able to let go of that and think like, okay, cool, right, because we came to a crossroads, right? We were like, right, we need to make money. At the top of the year, we're like, we need to make money, but we also want to like continue to make projects. So what do we do? And I think we were like, let's make the projects and then let's figure out how to make money. So,
but also I think we had to kind of identify the conforming first.
Yeah.
So we identified that maybe we had lost our way a little bit.
Yeah,
to
massively.
Then be like, oh, hold on a minute.
Well,
then why am I doing this in the first place?
What specifically were you conforming? How did that come out in you? How would you identify that in yourself?
The conforming.
Yeah, you're conforming. What was it?
I write a lot of 30-minute comedies.
Yeah.
I write a lot of 30-minute comedies. And if anyone tells me to change anything, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm such a rule follower.
Yeah.
And I respect authority so much.
Yeah.
That if you tell me to change something, I'll do it. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'll do that. I rarely push back on notes. Yeah.
So why have you changed now? Where has the change come from? Or why are you identifying that as an issue?
Well, I'm identifying it as an issue because I didn't put what I wanted to make first.
Right.
I put getting it on the platform first.
So there was no boundaries between like your creativity. Like there were no boundaries and now you've placed them.
Yeah.
So you understand at the basis that like you're a good writer.
Well, this is the thing. So for me, I feel like that fundamentally I'm a good writer. Yeah. Like I figured that out a long time ago.
How did you get to that place?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like writing is a gift that I've always had. Yeah. That's something that I have to just put out there.
Okay, so that's like an initial seed. You feel like it's inherent in you.
It's inherent. I love writing. I've always I like writing essays. I went back to school to get a master's. I like writing. Yeah. I like writing stories, everything. Yeah. I started script writing not because I wanted to do film, but because I like writing. Yeah. And I would get a lot of positive kind of feedback. Yeah. This is really good, written really well, whatever. Yeah. and I realized I could bang like stories out really quickly.
Yeah.
And when I would read back old work, I would go, this is good.
Yeah.
And I would read other scripts and go, yeah.
Yeah. I'm there.
I go, yeah, we're head to head.
Do you think the professional work also kind of like, because also it can, I'm trying to distinguish the difference between being just like egotistically, like I'm great at what I do.
Oh, yeah.
And if there was anything that kind of like anchored that, because I think that everyone will have the idea of like, I'm good at what I do. I think that's quite an easy thing to do.
Do you?
I think a lot of people can get themselves in their minds to say that the stuff that they do is great. Like,
well, this thing, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So for me to say like I'm a good writer, and obviously I'm sure lots of people don't know me, but for me to say that I'm a good writer, it takes a hell of a lot, because I'm not someone who's just like, I'm so good at this, I'm so amazing at that. I don't really do that. I just try my best and try, and that's it. Like, all I can do is give you what I've got, and I can't do anything else other than that.
Yeah.
But I think when it came to writing, I think I got to a point, particularly with script writing, that I was sort of like, no, this is good, because I'm watching so much stuff.
Yeah.
I'm reading so much stuff.
Yeah.
I'm engaging with everything that I see on screen critically.
Yeah.
I'm downloading all the scripts that I can to watch them. I'm doing all of the lessons of the screenplay, the take, all of those videos.
Yeah.
I'm going, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
What's the difference between theatre and film and TV and why and how? I'm engaging with, I'm really deep diving into this.
Yeah.
And the work that I'm creating out of it, I think is pretty good.
So that's really cool, because then that's really interesting, because that has nothing to do with like the fact that like, you know, you've been optioned by people.
Yeah.
You've written for companies like Netflix.
Yeah.
You wrote for Audible, like that. Those aren't even in your language.
No.
It's really interesting. So it's just it's something that it's a personal journey of becoming a good writer. So that's a good thing to understand, because I think that similarly, I'm like, oh, I really believe in the stuff that I write, and when it's good, I have a feeling of that it being good. But I'm also like working on my craft.
Yeah.
So like I feel like with music, it's kind of sometimes easier to tell when your songs are kind of slapping, because like I listen to the radio, and then the stuff I make, I go, does this sound like the radio? And then I'm trying to do the same thing in film. So I'm writing the scenes, or I'm making the scenes, and I'm going, is this similar to the thing that I said I wanted it to be like? Is this like Friends? Is this like Spielberg? And when I'm going, oh yeah, no, I'm looking back at it, and even over years, I'm like, this slaps. I'm like, oh no, I'm understanding the craft.
But also,
I also think that being able to be championed by certain companies who put out work has made me go, oh yeah, no, so I can also work at a level. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I think that there is a set level of always this good that you're always going to have.
Yeah.
But I think I do trust in my ability to write.
Yeah.
And I think that's been put to the test by writing professionally.
Yeah.
But as well as writing for myself and being able to read back at old work and go, ooh, this needs a tweak here and there.
Yeah.
Or to read back at work that I've written before and gone, oh, actually, yeah, you know, this still sort of holds a candle to what I need it to hold a candle to.
Yeah, exactly. So we found, so that's in an essence, that's how we found like our voices, like, and so because I felt like we kind of got to a position. I said, right, again, we were like, do we quit or do we continue or do we go and work? And we decided to double down and to make things independently because we believed in our voices and we believed that maybe there is another way in making work. And I think that once we started thinking outside of a box and we were able to, and the freedom of creativity went back to where we were when we started, and it felt like a forest rather than a boxed room, because it's just like, or an ocean. Now it's like, it's vast. It's like, oh, this could actually be anything.
You can go everywhere.
But when we were in a box, I think it was like, okay, we have to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. But now I feel like pushing each other to write stuff kind of took us to this place of like, oh, well, writing can be free. And if you detach the needing money with the work, then it's like, okay, Imeldha will go and work part-time as a lecturer. I'll go and work part-time at a bar, and we'll fund our lives and pay our rent. And we won't necessarily have the most bit of money for holidays and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but there is definitely a sacrifice that comes with maybe doubling down on it.
Yeah.
And not wanting to sort of keep up appearances and kind of be like, I'm going on 3 holidays. We haven't been on a holiday
in like four. Well, I mean, we went on one for our straight after our wedding. We went, but that was organised by friends.
But that wasn't us.
Yeah, that wasn't our own pocket.
That wasn't our own pocket. And I think, other than that, I haven't seen the outside of the UK
for like 4 or 5 years.
For ages. And I think that's just a sacrifice. And I think people don't realise how luxurious it actually is to travel.
We haven't seen the outside of the UK since we went outside of the UK to decide to be filmmakers. Isn't that mental? We were in Italy and we said, we want to spend the rest of our lives together. We want to start a film company.
Yeah.
And then since then, we haven't been able to do it because everything became harder to do. But it was really interesting how then we were like, oh, the work, the passion and the love of the work comes first. Yeah. So now we are going. So then we kind of came to the point where we're like, oh, we'll make Unwritten, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the process of like finding our voices and finding who we are as writers, I think we definitely had to go back to why we were writing in the first place. Yeah. And I think Unwritten really helped us figure out why we were writing. Yeah. We went right back to those kids that were watching their favorite movies. Yeah. Going, wow, this feeling is so magical. Yeah. And what is this feeling so sudden and new? Yeah.
What is this feeling? No, Jackie, carry on.
Does it have a name? Yeah.
Keep going. Or we'll just do the whole song.
I know. Loathing, sorry.
I love it all. Do.
Okay.
But we're talking about our whys.
Yes.
And Unwritten. So with Unwritten, when we were starting to create it, the first thing that we kind of put on each other was, so Unwritten came from, again, one of the 900 ideas that I kind of scrapped because I never felt that it would be able to be made. Yeah. And I brought it to Imeldha, this idea of like characters coming alive from the scripts of a writer that can't finish their work. Mm-hmm. And we both really locked into that idea, and we immediately started building like we would when it's just us coming up with ideas and pitching to production companies.
And just like throwing shit at the wall. Like it was fun. I think when Michael and I write together, there's a board, we're going, and what about this, and what about that? And we're on YouTube going, look at this, and look at this funny meme that I saw, and it reminds me of that, this random BET performance. And
connecting things that wouldn't usually go in a pot. Yeah. So it's like, Atlanta and surrealism, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, A Different World, That's So Ratatouille, Parks and Recreation, and then Rick and Morty, and all of these Life Size, and all of these things are in this pot, and Freaky Friday, and all these things are in this pot, and it's making sense to us. And then it comes out of this idea of this project, and we're like, so that's what Unwritten can be. It can be.
But then also, I think I do have to say that like we had to find our why in order to write Unwritten, and Unwritten is such a perfect example of why we write in the first place.
Yeah, and why is that? Why are we writing Unwritten? Or why are we writing full stop?
I am writing because I'm trying to communicate the magic that I felt as a child. Yeah. Watching The Parent Trap. Yeah. Watching Life Size. And watching A Cinderella Story. Yeah. And watching cartoons, the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. I'm trying to communicate that magic to other people. Yeah. The feeling I feel when I've had a long, hard day and I'm curled up on the sofa and I've got friends on. Yeah. And I'm just that feeling, and something makes me laugh, even though I've watched it 500 times over. Yeah. That feeling. Yeah. That feeling of, it's okay.
Trying to create the familiar show. Yeah. The show that feels like a friend and a family member. Yeah. And I think that's where, once we understood because that's what it is for me as well. And I think because it was like, film goes back to being a 7-year-old who, in the midst of lots of dysfunction, would take these orange cassette tapes and cry at Chucky, looking at everyone else with their mums, or
I cried at that many times.
Or like watching Stanley Elness like build another hole, or watching Monsters Inc. or whatever. Like there were so many movies, or Flubber, and all these movies that really kept me going as a kid, I was like, that's what I want to do in movies. And I think that's why Spielberg and all these other stuff where it comes from. I want to make magical realism. It's something that I'm really interested in. I'm really interested in genre. So then I was like, I think for both of us, we were like, we connect on that. And I think that's why we can write together, because it's not like I want to make horror movies and you want to make Disney stuff. We both want to make it. And then we were like, okay, so that works, right? We know why and where it's coming from. So then that dictates everything else. Yeah. So then there's a spirit on it that's dictating, oh, okay, cool, that's what you're making this for. So then when you go, oh, we're making this thing where two people have sex and the characters from that unwritten scripts come alive, and for the rest of the season, they've got to live with each other. And every time I pitch it to people, everyone's like, that sounds so like wonderful, but also like strange. And it's like, yes, that's exactly what we're doing. It's weird and wonderful. And that was one of the things that we wrote on the board. Yeah. We're weird and wonderful. Freaky Friday is weird and wonderful. We want weird and wonderful projects. And I think once we were able to find out that why, then everything was dictated by it. Yeah. So when everything used to be dictated by the optics of the BBC, or not even just the BBC, because it makes it sound like I'm making them out to be a really evil company, but like the BBC, or just the commissioners, or just the way that there is a flavour of how British films are made by all of these companies. And when you're going, I want to try something else, and you're going, I'm not being dictated by you anymore, or films have to be made like this, or they have to be made in this frame rate, or you have to have an Arri Alexa, or you have to be this. It's like,
I'm being dictated by that spirit that consoled me as a kid. Yeah. And I want to console others. Yeah, and it feels crazy to people, but there's still a craft of that. There's a craft of that, So Raven. Yeah. There's a craft in filmmaking to the comedy of the Amanda Show. There's a craft. There's a craft to A Different World. There is a craft, and you have to study that craft and go, well, I really like this scene, or I really like Whitley. And why is it funny? Why? Because again, like I watch Friends again for the 500th time. Friends is my favorite TV show of all time, number one. Yeah. I will watch the same joke and I will go, why is that funny? Yeah. And that's again going back to like why I think I'm a good writer, and the process that I kind of undertook. Yeah. Everything that made me smile or go, yeah. I was like, oh, why did that happen to me? Yeah. Why is that funny? Why did that work? Oh, why am I? Oh, I'm about to cry. But why am I feeling like this? How did they do? Is it the acting? Is it the delivery? Is it the direction? Is it the light? Yeah. You know, and I think that. And it's everything. And we have that when we're writing any scene. Yes. Going, why does this not work? Yeah. Why does this work? Yeah. All that line. We're the worst people to watch movies with. And I have this thing that I always say to Imelda, that I'm like, there's an alchemy, because I love to incorporate music into a lot of my films. And I feel like there's an alchemy, and one of the best examples of it is Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. And I think when you watch that music video, from the beats, the light, the dressing, the clothes, the costume, the dance moves, the lighting, the editing, the acting. There is an alchemy where everything works together with the heartbeat. And in Smooth Criminal, I believe the heartbeat is the music, but everything else like works in tandem with it. And I believe that once you're able to kind of pinpoint that, bring it into your own work and go, okay, what's the heartbeat of Unwritten, and then how can I make everything work around it? And then you're creating style. And also what's then really interesting about it is then you're like, once you're able to, what I believe we're saying, is that like, it's really important we've been talking a lot about operating outside of systemic structures. And like, for example, like I believe that we live under white supremacy, and white supremacy is like embedded in great British values. And I'm trying my best to operate outside of that. And I can't necessarily operate outside of that in the world, but I can operate outside of that in my mind. And I feel like the same with capitalism. Like, I need to make money, but I can operate outside of capitalism in my mind. The incessant need to accumulate. Yeah, it's like, and that giving you value. Yeah, like, because there's a thing in the Bible where it's like, there's a verse in the Bible where it says like, don't be conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. #Christian, but like, I think it's really, I think it's really powerful for anyone, because I think this idea of not being conformed to just the way that the masses are going, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What you're doing is you're thinking above all of the things that are being told to suppress you. Capitalism does suppress you, and then you're trying to be at the same
height of it so that you can live a really good life and go on holiday? What if you transform your mind to be able to go on holiday, but you're not at the will of capitalism? You're at the will of something else, something higher than yourself. And I believe that sometimes when you're thinking about the beauty of filmmaking, when we're talking about being kids and crying and watching these movies, there is something that's higher than ourselves in making this. And I'm trying to tap into that when I make my projects. So then I have the belief and the confidence to go, I'm not gonna make the crime drama for the BBC. I'm gonna do the really weird show, and I'm gonna figure out how to make the weird show work because it's worth it. And then I'm gonna work part-time to be able to fund it because I believe in that more than I do in everything else. And I also am aware, because I think it's important to say, that some people don't want to do that because some people are like, bro, like it's too scary. And I believe that we should be able to live in a world where there should be structures that allow us to do that. And I just want to create that. And I think if there's anyone that's like, I feel like that too, and I want to create that, I believe that you should start doing it. Start building it. Start creating it.
People that have the same mind as you. We often feel crazy, but we don't feel as crazy because we have each other.
100%. It's easier.
Find the next person that might be saying the same things as you, and then you're like, okay, don't go anywhere because we can do this together. You need a community, you need a support system. There is no way that you can do this on your own. No way. Particularly if you're saying the same things that we are. Could you tell the people what Unwritten is?
So Unwritten is a genre-bending surrealist comedy about two writers with writer's block. One of them is called Mickey, the other is called Ash. Mickey is writing a kind of Pixar-esque movie about a vampire who runs away from his cat coven because he finds out that he's half werewolf. So he runs away from his coven to find his werewolf dad. And Ash is trying to write a slasher about a boy band who is on tour around England. And they find out that there is a killer amongst the pet camp. They're both writing these stories and they're massively blocked. They end up meeting in a meet cute that's gone wrong, and over a chaotic evening, Ash and Mickey end up having a one-night stand. And within this world, what happens when they have the one-night stand basically erupts the fragments of their world and makes the characters from their unwritten scripts come alive. So Mickey is living with Mickey ends up bringing alive these vampires, and Ash ends up bringing alive these boy bands and their manager. And Ash and Mickey end up moving in together, and with these characters from their unwritten stories, and they're trying to basically figure out how to get them home whilst figuring out how to live each other with this love-hate relationship. It's one of the best things we've written, and I can't wait for people to see it because it's phenomenal.
It's amazing, and I think that we would love for you guys to support it, and we would love for you guys to back it. Just the link will be below. We'll put all our information below so you guys can have a look at what we're doing and why we're doing it. You have a bit more understanding now about why we write the things that we write, and that's the energy that's going into Unwritten.
For real.
We want you guys to come aboard and
I remember I went dead.
Notification bell, bitch.
No, first week.
Subscribe. Mondays are out. Episodes are out every Monday and Thursday.
Hello everyone, here to tell you that episodes are out on Monday and Thursday. On Mondays we have our lovely chats between me and Imeldha. On Thursdays we have interviews with lots of different individuals from the film industry. So make sure to put that notification bell on and to subscribe and to share with a friend. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Yeah, man.
Encouragement corner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Give us an encouraging quote, Michael.
Oh, man. Okay, so I guess for Encouragement Corner, the thing that I'm thinking about today is we've been talking a lot about like coming out of the frame and staying out of optics. And one of the words that kind of strings out of my mind when I'm thinking about this is weird. Like, being comfortable with being weird, like, you know, like being the weirdo, being the one that's like, I'm not going to go to the BFI. I'm going to do the weird, different thing that everyone thinks is crazy.
I'm going to write the weird
I'm going to write the weird thing. You know, I'm going to embrace my weirdness. Trust the things that make you weird. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Really be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And be Phoebe from Friends, you know?
Be Phoebe.
Yeah, man. And I guess I've been doing the song every day. So I guess, go and listen to What Is This Feeling from Wicked, because I think, what is this? What is that feeling so sudden and new? Like, there's something in you that is screaming. It might not be loathing, but there's something in you, that wants to come out.
Yeah.
And trust it and go with it. Don't go with the way in which they're telling you to make films. You don't have to make it in one way. We can make films in lots of beautiful ways. So yeah, man.
Thank you guys so much. If you like our vibe,
subscribe.